Hello, this is Jerry Cosby, and this is another edition of Cos's Corner. Today we're talking with a young man. We're at German Park, 8400 South Meridian Street. And among other things, we're going to talk about the upcoming Oktoberfest. My guest today is Kenny Green. Hi, Kenny.
Jerry, how are you?
I am just wonderful. Always glad to be alive when I wake up in the morning. Pardon me, my name isn't in the paper. It's a good day. I'm sorry. Kenny has really been a good friend of ours for a lot of years. Our properties touched Caddy Corner, and he's the same age as some of our kids, and we had some pretty storied testy basketball contest on the Denny on Doug Burton's court.
Yeah, that's right.
That goes back a few years. I digress. Kenny, what's the day of the Oktoberfest this year?
It's September 6th through 9th.
6th through 9th.
Thursday through Sunday.
Just one weekend?
One weekend, yes.
Prior, it's been 2 weekends.
We went from 2 weekends to 1 weekend and kind of condensed the Oktoberfest into one long weekend.
Well, has it worked out well? Is this the first year you've gone to one?
No, this is the second year, and it worked out very well last year, so we're going to continue that.
Well, that's great. Well, tell the people what the Oktoberfest is all about.
Well, it's 4 days of celebration of German culture and food and entertainment. We have nonstop music going on. We have great food, German bands, rock and roll bands.
Separate. The rock and roll's up the hill, the German band is in the Pavilion. We got to make that clear.
The German band is in the shelter pavilion, and the rock and roll band is down just below us, down the hill.
Okay, so, that's good.
Yeah.
It really is. It's very colorful with their costumes and the skirts and the guys in the stockings, the leggings, and all those sorts of things. And,
that's right.
But the Germans don't seem to dance very close to each other, do they?
They like line dances, circle dances, but polka is the old standby.
I'll tell you, they have to have a hearty lungs and legs to dance the entire night. It's a lot of work.
It's a good workout.
Sure enough.
It makes the beer taste even that much better.
Oh, I'm certain, and I'm certain it increases the demand for. An interesting sidelight, you probably aren't aware of this, but many years ago, I was advertising and promotion director at Southern Plaza Shopping Center. This is in the days when that place was shaking and baking.
Yeah.
And one day, Herb Wetzel from across the street, crossroads of Lincoln Mercury, came over to my office, and he said, listen, I'm trying to get these German clubs together and put on an Oktoberfest, and I can't get them together. He says, why don't we put up a huge tent in the parking lot of the Southern Plaza Shopping Center, and we'll give each of them, and long story short, that was the origin of this very Oktoberfest. And I was there for another 2 or 3 years, and then my person that followed me there continued the tradition, and finally they got smart, got together, got their act together, decided, why don't we do it in German Park? And so here they are. What number is this? Do you know?
This is the 38th Oktoberfest.
My gosh, that dates me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
38th. Well, that's a marvelous record, and it really is a wonderful cultural event. And at some time, you're going to see just about everybody that you know on the South Side.
That's right. It's the place to be.
That's right. German-American Klub, how old is the facility down here?
This facility was built around 1979.
I see.
The club was started a few years earlier, and they, after a few years of existence, they built the clubhouse.
And people should know the dining room is open to the public.
Yes, it is. The Edelweiss restaurant is open Tuesday through Saturday from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
They have a marvelous dance hall, you would call it, or what do you call the upstairs?
Banquet hall.
Banquet hall.
It's, we take reservations for the hall. Any organization can rent it out from us. And we also offer food service for that.
I assume you have some weddings and receptions. And
lots of that. Lots of weddings.
For quite a number of years, we would come down here and watch the 500.
Really?
Yes, they rented a dish or some way. It was illegal, and it really was wonderful because you had all the food you wanted, a little beer, and didn't have to fight the crowd going out to the racetrack. So we became quite fond of this place. And I can't, German-American Club automatically brings to mind Walt Quebe. Walt Quebe was one of the greatest supporters. Walt owned Dinner Bell Markets, many of you knew that, over on Shelby Street. But if anybody was a promoter of the German-American Club, it was Walt Quebe.
Yeah, he was a very popular man. We miss him a lot.
If he didn't mess around, Walt wanted to do something, he got her done.
That's right.
Sure did. And I noticed back behind us is a little plaque in honor of Walt.
So, little memento, yeah.
So that's good. Well, what is your official capacity with the club and with the Oktoberfest?
Well, I'm the president of the German-American Club. I was brought in a few months ago. We have a brand new board that serves along with me. And we're really trying to revitalize the club and get a lot of new programs and activities going.
That's a pretty big responsibility.
It really is. Been really busy.
Did you leave the room and they elected you president? That's probably.
It wasn't much different than that.
So how many board members do you have?
We've got a board of 9 people.
I assume they're from varying backgrounds. Everybody brings their little particular expertise.
Yeah. It's a very talented board, and we're going to get a lot done.
Well, good. I admire you for taking that responsibility, and I'm sure it's a big one.
Yeah.
So.
Our Oktoberfest chairman is Chuck Kemp. He's a former president of the German-American Club, but he focuses solely now on running the Oktoberfest.
I see.
And that's our single biggest undertaking of the year.
Are there different clubs that still exist within the German-American Club?
We have the Ladies Auxiliary, which operates separately, but we're in a partnership with them. They do a great job and have their own activities and do a really good job in raising funds for the club.
Does the German consulate for this district, does he come down and
I haven't seen him.
Really? You want to invite him down?
Yeah.
And show him how Southsiders do it.
That's a good point. You were mentioning other clubs within the club. We have our own dance group called Deflater Mauschen Tanzgruppe.
Now wait a minute. Say that again.
Deflater Mauschen Tanzgruppe.
Can you say that in English?
I'd be afraid to try.
That's close enough. Go ahead.
They put on performances at Oktoberfest and other festivals around the state, and they're very popular.
I assume they're bringing the young children in and teaching them the dances?
As best we can. We do have a children's dance group, and they perform at the Oktoberfest.
Well, that's tradition is great, obviously. There's always been a very, very strong presence of Germans on the south side, and I can remember in the old days, well, I can't remember, but in the old days, in the area where the spotlight used to be at 1469 South Meridian, very heavy concentration. And I found one time in some of the old books, streets with the German names, and it was all in German. In the surrounding area, all around that area, around Wisconsin and Meridian and in that general area.
Yep.
So, and of course, Sacred Heart Church was built by the German population. It remains an absolutely beautiful church.
Yeah, I understand they did German masses, German language masses back in those days.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And then when the war came along, the people were prohibited from speaking German. They thought that was un-American. I mean, you know, it's us versus them kind of a thing. So that was quite an adjustment for some of those people, particularly some of the children they were trying to teach German. And of course, German was spoken in the home. Well, we'd like to maybe take a little time to go inside and see the restaurant and some of the other things. So we're just going to take a little break here. Don't go away. We'll be back. We're going to move on inside the clubhouse and give you a good idea of what the it looks like. We're entering the dining area of the German-American Club, and Kenny's going to tell us all the beautiful things about this place. Great place to eat.
It is. We have super food. Our chef is Ron Roberts, and he does a great job preparing authentic German dishes as well as some American dishes.
So if I come down there and want to just have an ordinary sirloin steak, I can get that.
Yes, you can.
But if I want a nice German dish, I can get that as well.
Every night of the week.
Every night of the week?
That we're open, yeah.
And now we come to the entertaining part. It's called a bar. I see any number of beverages, I'm certain, available. Full bar. What kind of beers do you serve here?
Well, we have domestics as well as a lot of German beers.
On tap?
So always have a German beer on tap. Have many more in the cooler, and good place to quench your thirst.
Is Frank Scholl still living?
He is. Yep. He comes down here occasionally, and we love to see him when he comes here.
Frank is one of the finest men. I've known him for many years. He was a jeweler at Goodman Jewelers many years. He created jewelry, and truly a German-American. Still
That's
spoke
right.
with a little accent. But you couldn't see Frank Scholl unless he bought you a beer. He insisted he had to buy you a beer. So
Frank worked with my grandmother at Goodman's Jewelers.
Oh, is that a fact?
Yeah. A lot of the Germans that moved in this part of the country had a jewelry background. They worked at Goodman's, Herf Jones, other jewelers like that.
So that's good. And your mother has gone to Germany a number of times and visited family there. That's an interesting story too.
I think she's gone over 20 times and still has a lot of relatives living in
Tell them
Germany.
what part. It's Stuttgart, in that general area?
Black Forest area. It's where her father's from, and her mother is from Bavaria, another beautiful German area.
Sure enough, sure. We are now entering the Grand Banquet Hall, and what a beautiful room this is. The lights are absolutely beautiful. The whole setting, as we talked earlier, Kenny, a few years back they used to show the 500-mile race here. And this place was just full of people and long tables of food and great screens, so we can remember a lot of good times in this hall.
Yeah. We can seat about 150 people here.
Well, and of course, Germans are not shy about celebrating. Tell us about New Year's Eve.
We are going to have a big New Year's Eve blast. We've hired a band called Tastes Like Chicken. It's a local South Side band.
Really?
Yep, rock and roll band, and we're going to have a great time.
That's wonderful. And people will be able to leave here. You know, I'm a little Irish, and I have a T-shirt that says, "So this Irishman walks out of a bar. No, really, it could happen." So maybe you ought to do that. Sell those shirts. And a German walked out of the no, really.
Yeah,
You know, you're a new president. A little extra dough there.
that's
Might
right.
work. Might work. Nice brick walkway to help people come up from the festivities down at the Oktoberfest. And we're going to go down and take a look at the pavilion. Kenny, it's this area is unoccupied now, but give people your mind's eye of what goes on just in this area right here.
Okay. This area will be filled with vendor booths over around here. We'll have tables set up for seating, for eating food. The rock and roll stage will be right here to my right.
That's a switch. They used to be up the hill, were they not?
It did, yeah.
Okay.
But we actually had 3 stages in those days. We're down to 2 stages. And this is really a very popular area, and it sets up nice for seating on the hill and on the beer garden. And then you can listen to the music.
Yeah, right. And it shouldn't be too much of there ought to be a blank space right there where the German stops and the tractor stops.
Sort of like that.
Let's take a look in the pavilion where the real action is.
And the pavilion is where we have the traditional German bands. We'll have 3 polka bands during the course of the weekend, and they'll be playing the traditional German music. Our own dance group, Die Fledermauschen Tanzgruppe, will also be performing here in the Pavilion each night, as well as a children's dance group.
Is there an admission charge, the Oktoberfest?
It's $5 per person. Children 12 and under get in free. And on opening night, which is Thursday, September 6th, we have a $5 per carload special.
And over here is the famous dance floor where the folks do their thing. Got a bar here. They have beer served over here.
Got the bandstand down at this end, and lots of seating around the dance floor.
But wait, what's this say? Drink, Brudeline, drink.
Drink.
Okay.
Drink, brothers, drink.
Oh, okay.
Simple.
Yes, simple. It's easy for you to say. Okay, Kenny, I see some emblems, decals, whatever, on these posts. Tell us a little about those.
Well, these are the member organizations of the Federation of German Societies.
Okay.
The Federation owns and operates German Park. Each federation has their own seal or emblem that's painted on these pillars.
I think it's very symbolic. That says Gartner, and the South Side for years was known as the Gardeners, and they were
Absolutely.
mostly of German extraction.
That's right.
So that's pretty obvious. And there's one around here. The membership fees, how they go about joining, don't have to be German.
Well,
whatever.
membership fees are $50. You can go to
Per year?
per year, yes. You could go to our website at indianapolisgak.com and find out more about that. Or you can come by the clubhouse anytime we're open and get signed up.
And have dinner.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that you get a better appreciation of what you're joining. Do you have a number of members, about how many are on your rolls?
Around 300 members, full members, and then we've added many more members through special offers and campaigns such as Groupon. And we will be running another Groupon special later on this fall.
Well, like everyone else, these organizations, there's always a struggle to grab people and tell them that there's a good reason to belong here. Well, we hope maybe through this little time we've spent here, some people might see this and say, well, yes, I think there might be a good reason for me to join the German-American Club. So this will conclude another Cos's Corner. Kenny Green.
Enjoyed it, Jerry.
Thank you so very much. And again, my thanks to Kent John, our photographer, producer, editor, par excellence. He always does a great job. So that's it for now. Jerry Cosby, this is Cos's Corner. Hope to see you again soon.